Guardians at the gate. Guardians at the gate. One sitting in one way, one sitting the other way. Are they sitting back to back? Thank you, Miss Lavette, for the input. For those who are watching me for the first time after I recognized for the multiple time how Miss Lavette speaks of me highly. Well, I don't know if she's high when she's speaking about me. And I joke around a lot because I need the entertainment and I need to feel the gap. I need to feel the gaps. And I seem to sometimes fill these gaps, not with further explanation, too much explanation, forgetting about what I was actually talking about, scratching my head like a monkey saying, I need more incoming information. I pump and I jump and I move around a little bit to keep, I need to keep the bubble full. I can't have any voided spaces. You don't want any air in the blood. You want to keep the spirit moving. So from here in the church, and he says, "Hope I put my hand on your head." It's all a continuous vibration of the belief, of the energy, of the continuation of the road your mind is traveling. If it's traveling, it's taking coordinate space. If it's going forward, it's from here to go to there. Forget about here, you're going to there. So you're not going that way, but you're coming from that way. So your description from where you're coming, so you got to speak from where you're coming because you're not going to where you're coming. You're going from where you are to where you're going. Does this all mix you up? Well, everything that I say has a traveling point and understanding. I'm going up. I'm going forward. I'm going east, west. So I'm not going east or west. So you know I'm going straight, but at least you know where I'm going in between, the east and the west. So how do we coordinate the east and the west? I see a star, see another star, the moon is there, sun is here. What time of the year is it? How would I supposed to know what time of the year is it? Is it just that it happens once a year? Do all the constellations just happen once a year and it just so happened it happened next year too? So if you think this is all a coordinate space and everything running like you're inside a Disneyland, Universal Studios, or some aquatic park underneath the ground, through the caves into the Grand Canyon, but with a dome on top. And when you look up at the dome, you go, A, B, C, D, E, F, and all of a sudden, boom, on the ball in the center, on the ball in the center, on the ball in the center, emanating out, knowing your coordinate. You need to be a ball to know your coordinate. Do you? Well, you don't have to go to the extremest point in the square. You just have to go to the closest point on the same angle. Outward, inward, outward. That's where you have to be. Lavette was talking about number 98. 98 is crazy. What can you do at 98? She also talked about the phone pad. Everything is a coordinate space because it has to go somewhere. You have multiple dimensions, but before you get multiple dimensions, or before you get 3D, you have to have a starting position. Area, space. Area equals, space equals to 44, which is PHI, phi. That's what it is. That's what we were told. The mathematics, PH and I, 4 times 4, 4 plus 4, and the only way to create it is with one of these. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4. Oh my God, what do you mean? See those 4 corners? I only need that to measure. Everything else is in between. I already know if I got 4, I know where 6 is. And I know where 8 is. It's at the heart of the movement between the 4 and the 4. See, 66, bar the 66, because they're my extension of explaining the letters. How do I explain letters from this? Does anybody see the I? You can connect these 2 dots. If I hold the dice like this, okay, I'll connect the ending dots and then go up this way and come down this way. That'll be my N and Z on this angle. That's the way I'm going to do it. If I put the I on this angle, it's going to show a plane. It's going to show, yes, let me draw this up for you. Let me draw this up for you. Let's say you have sorry. Let's say you have that. We did that, right? We did that. We held the dice this way, and we were able to create that design Oh my God, it's not the H and it's not the I. If I did it this way and I draw these across, right, and then I connect the other three dots, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. Well, how did I do that? Boom, dot in the center tells me I can do it. But if I turn it this way, this is what I have. So I now have my N, or my north, right, and my south. My north and my south, I have the Lamed. Here I have the H and the I. And here I got my Lamed. Yeah, I got my Z and my N. The 14th and 26 equals 40 blue. Second letter, 12th letter, 21st letter, and 5th letter. And by the way, they're all red. 2, 3, 3, 5. 5 and 8. 26, 38, 39, 40. This is a 3. This is a 3. 3 and 3, 6 and 8. 6, no. 6 and 7, 13, 1 and 3, 40. How can we also get this number? 6 plus 7. How do we get 6 and 7? 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals 6 equals 7. 7 times 6 is 42, plus the 13, 7 and 6, or the minus 13 equals to 55 equals to 29. Now, I'm gonna finish off with that N, and I'm gonna show you the dimension first with the N before I get off. So we did that, right? We did that with the dice, right? Like that. And we crossed over from this point over here. Look at that distance, how far the distance was between here and here when creating it on this. Couldn't I have created it 2, 2, 2? Should I have done it that way, or should I do it this way? Which way, I don't know. See, this way doesn't show, look how thick, doesn't show its thickness. Here it shows its thickness, right? You know, if I just kept doing this, you know, I can just create that ladder or that building, right? The inside of the building here. So now we're showing like a gateway or a doorway. I haven't opened this one up yet to show you maybe the wall that goes this way, the wall that goes this way, and the wall that comes this way. If this one goes to here and this one goes to here, and you take into consideration the 1, they can pass through the 1 hole. If you put a cylinder, or if you put a core, or a transmission, you can actually make one world switch and mirror with the other one. Imagine you're shooting into a mirror over here. The mirror sees it, it shows it over here. Nobody gets hurt because it's on the other side of the wall. As well as this design over here, if you make it look like the deck of cards, and this was the 9 card that was over here, right? You would create your Z or your N over here, but when you extend it, and you extend this one all the way down, you'll see you have that I on an angle. Looks like an I on an angle. I'll call this the 3-point play, or the field goal, because that's the angle and that's showing me goalposts. Depending how you hold this up, if you hold this exactly, if you hold this just off center just a little bit, this one and this one will be offset. This one and this one will be offset. This one's offset, but it would be, you see, the minute I put it this way, this one will touch the edge of this one. This one will touch the edge of this one. This one, okay, if I put it too much this way, it'll touch the edge of this, but this way, this one touches this one, this one touches this one, this one touches this one, touches all 3, and if it was this way, right, where would this touch? Anyways, this is coordinate space. I don't want to talk about that. We're going to also talk about half space. Look at the difference in these two. I cannot cut this one like this one. They're not the same, but this one is. So how many areas do I have here? I have one complete area that is boxed in. It took 3 lines to create 2 area spaces. I'm not really sure which way we should do this, but we're going to give this the certificate of luck. You ever see this on certain products? You get a product, or you get a prize. You get a prize. Let me see if I can do this. Did I do this right? Yeah, you know, you get a prize. You're going to put the cube over here, and you're going to get a star inside of here. It says this is a fine product, and you go to the dog show and they pin it right over here. Well, you went to the dog show and they're pinning it right over here. There's a name for this. In the French language, there's a name for this, and they call this, look it up in the French language, and they call it the French accents, and it's used either like this or like this, and sometimes there's two dots, sometimes there's a hat. And my keyboard, which if God was in heaven, he put everything bestowed in man, my keyboard is showing me that the star is on the 8. The DNA is on the 7. The hat is on the 6. And the percentage and average is on the 5. That when where you're at in the house of, oh my God, it's the spirit, into the house. The $sign giving me the 9 lives of the cat. And because of 3, and 3 is everything, because here is my completeness. Here is my completeness. And oh my God, now you can go down. Now if I cross the lines this way, we now have a building. One on one side, one on the other. In this design, I have my top area square and my bottom area square. Oh my God, it creates 8. Now I have to duplicate this, and in between it'll create an X. X marks the spot. Who's in the batter's circle? 808. Bicycle. I could put one down here, and we can see it. I can put the 8 here, but I don't want to design that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Created from 6 and 7. Created from 1 and 6. Created from 1 and 6. But the 1, like the telephone, has 8 area spaces. 8 area spaces void. Yeah, that's right. There's 6 on the outside. 3 and 3. All right, you see the way the dot is on the top, so where's those 6? You see the way they're on the side? Look the way I'm traveling. Holding this straight up to me and traveling. Okay, now if I turn the bicycle on the side, what's happening with the bicycle? Is it going this way, the bicycle? First the bicycle is going this way. Another thing I want to talk about before I go anywhere is, look, 90 degrees. I turn it to 45, and I turn it back. So you have to turn twice. 2 equals 25 and 25. No, 2 equals, it's 1/4, 0.125, 0.125 equals 0.25. That means when this dice cube is here, and you turn 1/4 to here, to that angle here, and then you turn it straight up, you have made 2. 45 degrees, 45 degrees once, 45 degrees twice. 45 degrees once, 45 degrees twice. 2, 4, 6, 8. There are 8 times 0.125 equaling to a complete turnaround. 512 is your memory. 512 is your memory. Computers tell me this. 256, 128. Spirit inside the moon. 12 equals 338. They all tell stories. 1 1/4 times 5. Remember what quarter is. Quarter is the Earth. It's a representation of the Earth's DNA. Why? Because Earth equals 52 or 25. This is all basic numbers. This is the basic as North American English people and French people can be. A is first, Z is last, the first and the 26th letter. And I'll tell you one thing. Exactly what I'm talking about now is exactly what they do in an IQ test, because I did it. And guess what? The person who did it with me was freaking out. She was like freaking out. When she said H, I said 8. When she said I said 9. I said 918. She goes, why 918? I said, you going from Z or you going from A? She says, don't act silly with me. Is that what you do when you get to a red light? You say, I know it's going to turn green, and you keep on going? Well, then I need a calculation in there. I didn't need no calculation in this one. Oh, she says, you're a smart ass. Oh, I go, smart ass. Good cookies. Cookies under my computer. Remember, I use cookies. I got a smart ass. Or your brain's up your ass, son. It's all been given to us on a silver platter. All the words that come into us that vibrate, well, high five, how you doing, good dude, hey, my name. I don't like to say that on here because it's just a weird thing to say, but the word Niger is actually germination. Ni is your birthway, gateway, passageway, nuality. You're always being reborn because, oh my God, I don't feel good. Well, tomorrow, you can't feel good. But it's part of a continuation. Oh, it's in my mind, it's out of my mind. It's in 8, it's in 9, it's in 8, it's in 9. Don't worry, I'll remember. It's up there, it's out there somewhere. It's in 8, it's in 9. So when Lavette talks about 89 as being the root of everything, 89 is crazy. The reverse of 10 in 89 is 12. 1 and 2 alpha beta creation of the ox in the house. Taurus, the ox in the house. You need a screw and you need to drop. You need to drop more, okay, product onto that screw, okay, to keep it going so there's no voided spaces of thought, no little rice pellets left out. And rice pellets, obviously, they don't fit perfectly. They fit, but there's always space to move. If you blow inside rice, you can blow right through it, you know, unless you pack it in. So while you're emptying the rice on the other end for it to have some place to go, right, you got to keep pumping it in because the spirit keeps coming in. I'm losing that trend of thought. Give me a second here. Wow, 1551 landed on Mars, 47 by 33, 1551, 66, the roadway, the gateway, the separation, and you taught me through the dictionary, through the definitions, through what we live. Drive on Highway 66. Now we're driving on Highway 80. Communication, my friend, 80. 80, 420. Imp, 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 imp. Why 66? Because we barred the 66, the heaven H and F. We barred H and F. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals that 68. That 68 can be flipped over to a 98. 6 by 8, 48. 9 by 8, 72. 4 and 8, 12. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 makes a perfect 10-10 world. 9 times 8, 7 and 2. What is 7 and 2? 7 and 2. 7 and 4, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. They complement each other when you flip them over. 10-10 world. Don't tell me. And sometimes they can refer to these. These. Oh, no, that's sorry. These. Nope, that's sorry. Oh, boy. Yeah. 10. You can have 10 as 6 and 4, 10. Vortex. And if you have 6 and 4, 10, you have to have 1 and 3. Telling me 6 and 4, you got the half-life involved here. You got 44 and 2, 4, 2, 4. Communication, 9 lives of the cat. They pay 9 to 5 in the crap game. 2 to 1 if you take out $1 on every $25, I think it is, but only 4 per 100. You don't need 5. You don't need the spirit if you're giving away the spirit. Here's the money. I don't need it. I'm the spirit giving it away. I've already made the choice for what the value makes the choice of. The money. Why the money is so relevant. So we're going to get back down to it, but I'm so excited to look at my face. Can you follow me the way I'm excited to look at me and listen to me? Because I love what I'm saying. I understand what I'm saying. I see it. It's on the paper. It's telling me the truth. The numbers that God gave us. Because God put numbers when you're reading the Bible. Oh my God. Hotel, motel, everyone's got a Bible in it. You know, you got all kinds of Bibles and all kinds of names. And in section number 1.4, God's plan has no end. It is life in the house of many mansions. Many mansions, the Urantia world, and this book. They are directly connected by the words spoken of whoever wrote this book. Chai for heaven's yud puts me in and lets me play the game. I understand the basic rules, but I will break some other rules that are not the basic rules, but the added rules, for society has distanced itself from each other. We are now bits and pieces and parts living on different levels of life, understanding and seeing things differently, acting and stretching out just a globe of basic what's right and what's wrong. What's right and what's wrong. What's too much, what's not enough. So now you have the center core of the circle where perfection is right here in the core. The way it should be so that we can all get along with each other. So what does 8 and 9 have to do with it? Would you like me to finish? Would you like me to speak a little bit about the number pad? Because I can go on and on. It depends how it comes in. When it stops coming in and I lose my space and I open up another roadway, I tend to forget where I started from, and then I sound like I'm just ranting. Of course, it's off the top of my head. What is a rant? What's an ant? Crawling around, making other little holes in my head, getting other little ants come up. A million ants come up and they see a bamboo. No matter what the ant was thinking, the ant is going to get the bamboo. All it knows is to help the other ants. My cat scratches and buries its treasure. Must be a pirate, the orphan cat. The orphan dog must call spirit potential. Spirit potential, SPCA. Creation angels, standard and poor. Creation angels, part of my brain with legs. Yeah, part of my brain with legs. My cat comes out of here. They created the cat, and then they put him in here, took off his legs, put connectors on him, and now he's part of my head, my thinking system. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, 6 and 8. 8 and 6 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 5 in the 2 house. 2 and 2, where it lives. Here's one side of 2. You put another 2 there, you come in with the spirit. In fact, don't be a 2. Now you got to be a 3. You got to take the other part of the house with the spirit in it, the other part of the house with the spirit in the heart, and come into this world. I don't say it exactly the way I want to. There's something missing in that, but in between 1 and 3 is 2 and 4. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. Okay, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. So here's your 2, and then where you've got the 5, the 3, now you have the 4. So now where your 2 is missing 3, and where your 4 is opposite of that 3, so they complement. Everything keeps complementing, and this is also like the the way you move the tetrahedron, I think. That remember, to the center of the tetrahedron, to the center of maybe not the tetrahedron. I don't think we can do it with the tetrahedron. We can do it with Rubik's Cube, where the core center moves that third item, but we can't do it with the tetrahedron. The tetrahedron is just moving the stars on the outside out of one center that never moves. So that's a telling story. There's so many telling stories here. So let me put down the camera. I should do this live, but I don't want to be broken up on my way. And I think I'm getting 5 times more views than normal. I got 26 views in like a video I did an hour ago, and that's like, for me, fantastic. I need this energy to pump. I need to grow. I need more boards, more writing, more art. We just got to non-stop. In fact, I got to design my art a little bit faster, because I feel the information is coming in fast enough that I need to say somebody, set me up this kind of grid, set me up this kind of grid. But if I have too many people doing too many things for me, I fall down, because I'm not keeping up with that precious moment of the thought of knowing. But if others just copied on top of what I did on their own tables, then I can look at their table and add on, or learn from it, or like everybody can be taught from it. So you remember that design before? Well, now we have it here. See the way the X comes through? That dot in the center is that center line split, M and M and M and M. Now, one line down here, one line down here, one line down here, one line down here. That squares it in, right? But you forgot. Well, maybe you didn't forget, but and you see that sign before? You see the way the points look like they're flipped in, or they flipped out? What's actually happening with that? Don't look at it as it's just a train track to stop, because that's what it could be. But there's only a space for one light, 2 sides, one light. Octagon. Is this the octagon because the sides are short? Or do we have to hide? Had to hide it. I'm going to show you why. Had to get those corners off. We have to get these corners off. And now, let me see. And see these corners that we just cut off over here? I've got to do this in orange, I think. Okay, now take a good look at this. Now, come on, where are you, Harry? Where are you, Harry? Here you are. Look at that. Just plug that one in there. See the way I need my whole area? Although you got 8 sides now, I only can plug in 4. Because I can't plug this into here. I got to plug this one into here. And then, okay, so now here, here, and here. Here he's showing clubs. Here he's showing, if you take a look, see those lines? Those lines are almost like, how can I do it? He's got one short one, which goes down to here, over to here, and I think it's over to here. It looks like it's doing that. See the way it seems to be going backwards? And then he has the next one, which is, I don't know the exact angle. It seems like it's doing like this, and then it's doing like this, and then it's doing like that. It's not exactly like that. This is like, that's another crown. Crown to a crown. So you have a crown to a crown, right? And then, if you want to do it that way, it can also look like a clam. You know what I'm saying? It can also look like a clam. It can also be telling you this. Anyways, forget about that. Whether it should be jacks or whether it should just be kings. Should we put something up here? Or can it be just a card that goes in this way? Look at the queen. See the way hers are on the side? See the way she has, the way they're placed, which way they're looking? Anyways, besides that, they're telling me the queen of clubs has 2 eyes. King of clubs has 2 eyes. Jack of clubs has 2 eyes. That's 6. So you have 6 for the clubhouse. And now the king of spades has 2 eyes. The queen of spades has 2 eyes, but the jack of spades only has 1 eye. 5 for the spade house. Now I don't have the hearts here, right? But the diamond king has 1 eye. The jack of diamonds has 2 eyes, and the queen has 2 eyes. They have 5 for the diamonds. Now the king of hearts, hold on a second. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Al, so much if you get to the 27th minute, because I couldn't be doing all this truck running. The camera's going fantastic. Computer's working well. And I'm moving and I'm feeling good. And I want to thank you, Al. You are the key. You are the Allen key. J'aime ton cœur. So here, if you look, the house, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes on top. So the heart has 5 eyes. The heart, the diamond, the spades, 1 eye, 2 eyes, 2 eyes, 5. 1 eye, 2 eye, 2 eyes, 5. 2 eyes, 2 eyes, 2 eyes. So only the clubhouse has 6. So you have a total of 16. 5, 10, 15. You have 21. So if you have 21, okay, for each suit, that means you should have 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jack has 6. The king has 7. And the queen has all 8. All the queens have 2 eyes. Things that are in the heart that split and reflect each other. Formations and gears telling us stories. H and I, X and X split by the H in the 2 houses. Here we have the center core. It could be the hourglass. It could be the heart chakra. Okay, it also looks like Saturn inside the heart of the Queen of Clubs. Here we have gears. The diamond tells me it's a 2-to-1 suit. It's a 2-to-1 suit that because when you flip upside down diamonds, okay, they show the same images on the cards. There's no up and down. Let me show you that up and down. The up and down is right here. This is up, this is down, or this is down and this is up. Or you can also look at it as this way. This way, this way, this way. 1 row, 2 row, 3 rows, 4 rows. not going to tell you 9484829. Call God. The universe has the answer in the numbers because they supplied us all the information and they went over the game. Well, you're going to build that building with that? Hold on. I'll take a torch. Shh. Doesn't melt. Okay. I'll take this. Doesn't melt. Great. But what if a car runs into it? At what speed? Or if a plane comes into it, at what speed? Notice the way I tilted these cards, right? If you take a look at the tilt at the right angle, looks like a duck's beak. It also looks like the letter K. See the way we have a flat board and all of a sudden two little tiny little sticks. Plug in. Maybe it should be plugging in. See, both of them are down. Should one of them have been up? Plug one in up there, one down there. Slip it in. Or it is a plug-in this way. What are they? Little corners. See, I know which. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, we can also look at it. Oh, I don't know which card it is. Yeah, you know which card it is. If you're on this side, you know it's there. If you're on that side, you know it's there. And this side, you know who I am. My edges. Let them just hang over, Rapunzel, and we'll see if somebody notices your hair. Then there's the aces. They're pretty funny. Ace 11. Every house has a possibility of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. 11 each. We're going to give it 22. Major games in life where they call the ace 15. Call the ace 15. You call the ace 2. You call the ace 2 because the ace is with 2. Because if there's a house and there's no ace, there ain't nobody going to be home but a bunch of animals. What does the word mean? Animal. Animated. Within us, we are the animation. Of all the animals that exist, we are the animation. We animate. We animate. We choose what we do not choose. We are animating not by choice, but by design and by choice. I choose to animate. I choose to use myself and know that I am using myself to conduct myself to get your attention. To get your attention for good reason. Look at that. Look at that. I got two cards. One is higher than the other. I've connected them on the ends, and now I can control the cards. I now have maybe a little dimension. If I push it a little bit forward, I pull it a little bit back. You see inside, close, open, close, open. Does it mean anything? If I can think of it and I give it to you and there's 10 million of you and one of me, we can have 10 million designs. But if 9.5 million or 9.8 million or 9.9 million don't give a damn, we have 1 million. 1 million. I'm one. Imagine if we had 99.9% not giving a damn. That small 1% is huge. Because instead of being one teacher, we now have at least point something percent. Well, 1% more than me. It's got to be 1% more than me. It's got to be not 1 out of 10 because it sounds silly. It can't be 5 out of 1,000 because it sounds silly. But if you had 50 like me out of 1,000,000, you'd say, 50 out of 1,000,000. And you got $50. The guy's got 1,000,000 and you have $50. You both want to buy the same item. You got to pay cash. Who's going to get the item? But in this instance, having 50 to 1,000,000, this is only a gem. If I had 20 to the 1,000,000, it'd be a gem because 20 is 40 is 80 is 160 is 320 is 640 and 128. 64, 4 and 6, numbers that I'm always mixed up with. D and F ends up to be 128, 256, 512 memory, 1024, 290, 1024. Is it 296? What is that memory? 512. Give me that calculator. Where is that calculator? I need it so bad.